making it up as I go. Welcome to another edition of Fit and Fire, your home for guns and gear and the fitness to run both. I'm Mark, and I really appreciate you guys stopping by. So if you don't already know, I'm on the social media platforms, whether it be the Twitters, the Instagrams, or the Facebooks. You can find me at the links down in the description below. Go ahead and go check those out if you're interested. I have a lot of other content that I don't put on YouTube, so enjoy that if you'd like to. But this episode, we're talking about possible new EDCs for me as I expand away from the Glock series of pistols. So on a normal basis, I'm either carrying a Glock 19 or a Glock 26, depending on what the weather is doing. Buddy of mine, my best friend from back home, he said, hey, why don't you consider some different pistols other than Glocks? One of those pistols is one of his favorites. It is the H&K VP9. And let me tell you, this pistol is laden with features. And we're going to get into them here in just a second. This pistol is nothing new. It's been around the market for about 4 or 5 years now. And it is based off of the P30 design from H&K. So this pistol has somewhat been around for quite some time in one form or a fashion. Let's get into the specifics here real quick. First and foremost, it's 7.34 inches long. It's going to be 5.41 inches tall, and then it's going to be 1.32 inches in width. It does have a 4-inch cannon grade steel cold forged barrel, so that is going to be extremely accurate coming right out of the box. One of the next features that I really like about this pistol is the fact that it has 27 grip combinations. That's right, 27 grip combinations. You can change out the back strap and the 2 side plates to fit your hand as perfectly as you possibly can get. You're going to get, with the pistol, if you buy it brand new, 3 back straps and 3 of either side panels, small, medium, large, that you can change out however you want to fit your hand. And I really like that. I think that puts a lot of thought into the pistol, a lot of thought into the various types of people that may be carrying this pistol or using this pistol. So good on you there, HK. I really like that. All right, so the next features that I'd like to talk about is right up here on the slide. First and foremost, it's going to have the cocking indicator on the back here. So as this pistol is charged, you're going to be able to see a little red nipple right in here, so you know that it is cocked and ready to go. You also have a loaded chamber indicator, which is this piece right here, and I'll get close-up pictures so you can see exactly what I'm talking about, but it's going to have a red flag that sticks out when it's loaded, so you know that it's cocked and loaded at the same time. So not that you can have one without the other, but it's a redundancy, and I like that. The other thing is you have these cocking ears right here. So those individuals that may not have a lot of grip strength may really like these cocking ears because you're able to get a better purchase on it as you're charging the pistol. Not a lot of people charge it this way. Some of them go overhand grip, but even if you do overhand, your finger and your thumb can sit in right there and pull it back. It's just a little bit more extra purchase. If this is something that you don't like, you can remove them, but in order to do that, you're going to have to remove the rear sight. So keep that in mind. Speaking of sights, the front and rear sight are going to be illuminated sights, not tritium filled. So that may be a con for some people. A lot of people like tritium filled sights, but these are going to be illuminated. So they're going to gather power from ambient light, and then in darkness, they will glow. So if you keep it in a case for a very, very long time and then pull it out, put it into your holster, and then head out for a night out in the town, they may not be completely charged. That's kind of a little bit of a con on that, but it's nothing more than flashlight to it, charges them up, and they'll be just fine. Keep that in mind. It does have front and rear serrations, so that's always good. And for the most part, the disassembly of it is extremely easy. All you have to do is charge it back, turn this down, and it comes right apart. Let's get into what everybody wants to know about this pistol, and that is the trigger. So If you've seen any other video out there, they're going to tell you that this trigger is probably one of the most crisp triggers that are on the market today. And I completely agree with them. In my opinion, I'm no expert. I have not tried every pistol that's out there, but I will say of the pistols that I have tried, this one has the most crisp break that I've ever felt. And what's the big deal with that? A very crisp breaking trigger is going to allow you to be just that much more accurate as you're firing. So as you can see right here, there is your take up, and we'll get close-ups of this, but there's your take up, there's your break. One of the things that I like about it is the fact that the take up and the break is a very, very quick, crisp wall. With Glocks, you're going to have a little bit of a take up, and then as you're breaking that trigger, it's going to be a little spongy. I don't feel any sponge with this whatsoever, so that's one of the great things about this. I really, really did enjoy that aspect of it. So the poundage on the trigger is going to be 5.4 pounds, which is pretty nice for a striker fire pistol, and then the reset on it is going to be approximately 1/8 of an inch, maybe just a hair under, according to H&K. So that is where you stand with the H&K's trigger there. I think it's probably one of the best ones, like I said, on the market today. I know that there's some others out there. I think the Walther PPQ is one that challenges this one for out-of-the-box crisp triggers, so I'll have to get my hands on that one of these days. Now, let's get into 3 of the downsides about this pistol that I found coming out of the gate. They may not be an issue for everybody, but for me, they were something that I had to take pause on. So the first and foremost is how tall this slide is. Now, in comparison to the Glock, and hopefully you guys can see this, the Glock is going to sit somewhat lower than the H&K, and that is just something that I was not expecting. I was expecting this to sit a little bit lower like the Glock did, but the very first time that I ever fired one of these, I pulled up and I'm like, wow, it felt like I was like looking way over the pistol, and I was concerned that as I grew and fired that I would have problems locating the sights, especially the front sight. It really wasn't that big of an issue. It was just something I had to get used to and adjust as I went through my drills and the different firing iterations that I did. So that's the first thing that you may have to take into consideration. If you're used to a different pistol, these sights are going to sit higher than what you're used to. One of the other things that I was concerned about was the magazine release. The magazine release is a European style that it's integrated into the trigger guard. I've had previous experiences with this style of magazine release in the Walther PPS, and I didn't have very much luck with it. I won't go into the details, but essentially I just didn't like it. I got used to the Glock magazine release because my thumb is in very close proximity, especially with the Gen 4s with the oversized magazine release. I can just reach up with my thumb and hit it, no problem. It's right there. I'm very used to it, especially putting it into my workspace. My thumb is naturally in that spot. So with the H&K VP9, same thing, fire, 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 bring it into my workspace to reload. I can't do that with my thumb. My thumb is just not long enough. I have to use my index finger or my middle finger to make that magazine change. And that was something that I was really, really concerned about. However, running some drills at the range, I found that after I would fire, 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 bring it into my workspace, my index finger naturally comes to that spot, and I'm able to just simply press it down. And as you will see right here, it's just pretty intuitive. Fire, 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 bring it down, and boom, right there. Too easy, right? So it's just something that you have to get used to. If you're used to other styles of magazine releases, then it may be something that you have to work up on, which is what I did. It took me just a few iterations. I got used to it, no problem. Let's get into the number one issue I have with the VP9. And for some people, it may not be an issue. For me, it's a huge issue, and it may be one of the issues that I completely eliminated from a new EDC. And that is this right here. The slide lock, slide release, slide catch, whatever you want to call it. This guy right here is an issue for me. Now, the plus side to it is fully ambidextrous. So you've got a slide catch, slide release, slide lock on either side. So you wrong-handed people would have no problems. It's right there, right where your thumb is. But one of the problems that I have with it is in comparison to the Glock, as you will see right here, a Glock has a very small release lever, whatever you want to call it. I'm not going to split hairs here, but it's right where your thumb is, but it's very, very small. With the H&K VP9, the lever is very large and protrudes just a little bit, enough for me to inadvertently put my thumb there and rest it as I'm presenting and firing my weapon. So what that does is it does not allow the slide to lock back on the last round. So if I insert a magazine, naturally the slide is supposed to lock back on the last round. But because of how I've been trained and how I present and bring my weapon out, I am naturally vice gripping that pistol in my hand, and my thumbs forward, always lands right on the lever. So that causes me to inadvertently release that on the last round. So why is that a problem? Well, you get into a defensive situation where you have to expend an entire magazine. Heaven forbid, you'd never have to do that. But for me, that would be a problem because I would fire, and then click. I would have to go into my remedial action of solving that problem, tap, rack, and then I would know, oh, it's empty. So then I'd go through my reloading procedure and put a new one in. With that being said, that could cause issue and slow you down in a reloading situation. So there you have it, the H&K VP9. What do you guys think of this pistol? Put it down in the comments section down below. Would this be a pistol that you would carry on an everyday basis, or is this something that you want to add to your collection, head out to the range and have some fun with your buddies or whatever the case may be? Let me know. I would love to get into a conversation with you about the H&K VP9. I really do appreciate everybody swinging by the channel. I appreciate everybody's support, all the comments, the likes, the thumbs up, the shares, all that stuff. It means a lot to me, and I hope you guys continue to do that. Got a lot more great content coming up with another new pistol that we're going to try out and kind of compare and contrast that to the H&K VP9. And then I have a couple new rifles, one of which is on the way in the mail right now, so I'm excited for that. Should have it next week, so I'll bring that to you as well. That's all I got for you this time. I really do appreciate you guys swinging by. Comes a high five. You ready? Here we go. If you made it this far in the video, then I'd really appreciate you guys would consider subscribing. You can do that right here. Or if you want to check out some other videos that I've got going, check them out right here. If you like the hoodies and shirts that I'm wearing, that's Revolutionary Patriot. I got a link to their website down in the description below with a discount code. And as always, keep on dropping those bells and shells. Thanks, y'all.